Hello dear students, it is a bitterly cold, foggy, murky day of January 13th, and today in our popular fiction subject we are going to study The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, a very popular fantasy novel. It was published way back in 1937 by George Allen and Unwin, and its popularity has tremendously increased over the years. And in recent times, in England and in Hollywood America, they have made some wonderful movies based on The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Here is a photo from the movie of The Hobbit, the main character by Tolkien. We move on to the plot overview of The Hobbit by Tolkien. And later on we would critically evaluate the novel, this fantasy novel, and also would look at various characters which have been woven into the story. So we begin with the plot overview of The Hobbit by Tolkien. I begin from here. Bilbo Baggins, the main character, lives a quiet, peaceful life in his comfortable hole at Bag End. So obviously these are imaginary characters, imaginary places. Bilbo lives in a hole because he is a hobbit, and this dash means we are getting a definition of the hobbit. So what is a hobbit? One of a race of small, plump people, about half the size of humans, with furry toes and a great love of good food and drink. Bilbo is quite content at Bag End, near the bustling hobbit village, or Hobbiton, bustling hobbit village of Hobbiton. But one day his comfort is shattered by the arrival of the old wizard Gandalf, who persuades Bilbo to set out on an adventure with a group of 13 militant dwarves. Dwarf has its plural as dwarves. तो ज़ाहिर है dwarf हम बोने को कहते हैं, छोटे कद में. So the old wizard, the magician Gandalf, he convinces Bilbo to go on with him on an adventure with a group of 13 fighter dwarves. The dwarves are embarking or setting on a great quest to reclaim their treasure from the marauding dragon Smaug. So why dwarves agree to join the company of Gandalf and Bilbo Baggins? Because they have to take their treasure from a fire-breathing dragon Smaug. Marauding means one which loots other people, robs other people, and Bilbo is to act as their burglar, and they are taking Bilbo with them because he would act as a thief, as a burglar. He would steal the treasure from Smaug. The dwarves are very skeptical. Skeptical means very doubtful about Gandalf's choice for a burglar, and Bilbo is terrified to leave his comfortable life to seek adventure. But Gandalf assures both Bilbo and the dwarves that there is more to the little hobbit than meets the eye. And this is a wonderful expression. More to the little hobbit than meets the eye. It means Bilbo has more qualities than seemingly he has. So try to get a good grip of the way English language has been used in this little paragraph, which is the start of the plot overview of The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. We move on to the next slide. Shortly after the group sets out, 3 hungry trolls capture all of them except for Gandalf. So trolls are actually ugly cave-dwelling giants or dwarfs. They can be giants, they can be dwarf. So trolls are ugly-looking creatures who live in the caves. Shortly after the group sets out, 3 hungry trolls capture all of them except for Gandalf. Gandalf tricks the trolls into remaining outside when the sun comes up, and the sunlight turns the nocturnal trolls to stone. The group finds a great cache of weapons in the trolls' camp. Once again, kindly do pay attention to the beautiful use of language, and here we have the word cache. This one, a cache of weapons. And in today's modern technology, in our mobile phones and in our computers, we have such cache which slows down the computers and the mobile phones. So through various programs, we remove the cache from the memory of the computer or the mobile phone so that it might function on better lines. So cache of weapons means a lot of weapons. Gandalf and the dwarf Lord Thorin take magic swords, and Bilbo takes a small sword of his own. The group rests at the elfish stronghold of Rivendell. Elfish means where the elves or the fairies live, which are very small imaginary creatures of the fantasy, where they receive advice from great elf lord Elrond, then sets out to cross the misty mountains. When they find shelter in a cave during a snowstorm, a group of goblins who live in the caverns beneath the mountain take them prisoners. So these goblins are mischievous, ugly, dwarf-like creatures who live in the caves also. I read from here paragraph 2. The group rests at the elfish stronghold. Elves are also little creatures like fairies or like dwarves. They have a stronghold of Rivendell, where they receive advice from the great elf lord Elrond, then sets out to cross the misty mountains. When they find shelter in a cave during a snowstorm, a group of goblins who live in the caverns also means caves, beneath the mountain take them prisoners. So these goblins take them prisoners. Gandalf leads the dwarves to a passage out of the mountain, but they accidentally leave behind Bilbo. So I explain once again that goblins are mischievous, ugly, dwarf-like creatures of the folk tales. Kindly try to understand the beautiful use of language in this plot overview and the names of various characters or imaginary figures. We move on to the next slide, and in this we have the main characters of The Hobbit. This one is Mr. Bilbo, and this is the fire-breathing dragon called Smog, and this is Gandalf, and this is Golem. We haven't yet read about Golem, but as we move on and the story progresses, we would come to know about all the characters. We move on to the next slide. Wandering through the tunnels, Bilbo, who has been left behind, finds a strange golden ring lying on the ground. He takes the ring and puts it in his pocket. Soon he encounters Golem. We go back to the previous slide. This is Golem. So wandering through the tunnels, Bilbo finds a strange golden ring lying on the ground. He takes the ring and puts it in his pocket. Soon he faces Golem, a hissing, whining creature who lives in a pool in the caverns and hunts fish and goblins. Golem wants to eat Bilbo, and the two have a contest of riddles to determine Bilbo's fate. So riddles, you must know all the dictionary definitions of this word riddles, but one simple Urdu word which fits in here is Paheli, Bujharat. The two have a contest of riddles to determine Bilbo's fate. Bilbo wins by asking the dubious riddle, a doubtful riddle, what have I got in my pocket? Golem wants to eat Bilbo anyway, and he disappears to fetch his magic ring, which turns its wearer invisible. The ring, however, is the same one Bilbo has already found, and Bilbo uses it to escape from Golem and flee the goblins. So the ring which Bilbo finds is a magic ring, and once you put it on, you disappear from others. So in this way, Bilbo leaves the cave of Golem. He finds a tunnel leading up out of the mountain and discovers that the dwarves and Gandalf have already escaped. Evil wolves known as wargs pursue them, but Bilbo and his comrades are helped to safety by a group of great eagles and by Beorn, a creature who can change shape from a man into a bear. So this is what happens. The story is very interesting, and if you watch the movie in itself is very wonderful and has been made in such a wonderful fashion that you would start believing in the characters which J.R.R. Tolkien has created. We move on to the next slide, and in this slide Gandalf and Bilbo meet Beorn, because in the previous slide I read the last few lines, evil wolves known as wargs pursue them. तो बड़े भयानक किस्म के भेड़िए होते हैं जो इनका पीछा करते हैं और उनको wargs कहते हैं. But Bilbo and his comrades are helped to safety by a group of great eagles and by Beorn. And who is Beorn? A creature who can change shape from a man into a bear. तो ये है ये गैंडल्फ है, ये बिल्बो है और ये बियॉन है. हम अगली स्लाइड की तरफ जाते हैं. ये गोलम की तस्वीर है जिससे मुश्किल से जान बचा के बिल्बो निकलता है. This is our next slide. The company enters the dark forest of Mirkwood, and making matter worse, Gandalf abandons them to see to some other urgent business. In the forest, the dwarves are caught in the webs of some giant spiders and Bilbo must rescue them with his sword and magic ring. After slaying his first spider, Bilbo names his sword Sting. Shortly after escaping the spiders, the unlucky dwarves are captured by a group of wood elves who live near the river that runs through Mirkwood. Bilbo uses his ring to help the company escape and slips the dwarves away from the elves by hiding them inside barrels, which he then floats down the river. The dwarves arrive at Lake Town, a human settlement near the Lonely Mountain under which the great dragon sleeps with Thorin's treasures. So actually they were after the treasures, that treasure. We move on to the next slide in this plot overview of The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. After sneaking into the mountain, I am reading the very first line. Bilbo talks to the sly dragon. Sly means cunning. The sly dragon Smaug, who unwittingly reveals that his armor-like scale have a weak spot near his heart. So this strong dragon quite foolishly reveals to Bilbo her weakness. When Bilbo steals a golden cup from the dragon's hoard, Smaug is furious and flies out of the mountain to burn Lake Town in his rage. Because dragons breathe out fire, this is the reason why the dragon wants to burn Lake Town in his rage. उसे में आके वो उनके लेक टाउन को जलाना चाहती है, क्योंकि बिल्बो उससे सोने का एक प्याला चुरा लेते हैं. Bond, another character, a heroic archer जो कि तीरंदाज होता है, has learned the secret about Smaug's weakness from a thrush. Thrush जो एक छोटा सा परिंदा होता है, and he fires an arrow into the dragon's heart, killing him. Before Smaug dies, however, he burns Lake Town to the ground. But before dying, Smaug, who is a fire-breathing dragon, actually burns the Lake Town to ashes. वो जला के राख कर देता है. The humans of Lake Town and the elves of Mirkwood march to the Lonely Mountain to seek a share of the treasure as compensation for their losses and aid, but Thorin greedily refuses, and the humans and the elves besiege the mountain. They surround the mountain, trapping the dwarves and the hobbit inside. Bilbo sneaks out to join the humans in an attempt to bring peace. When Thorin learns what Bilbo has done, he is livid, but Gandalf suddenly reappears and saves Bilbo from the dwarf lord's sword. Dwarf lord's wrath. Wrath means extreme anger. So this is the story of The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. A wonderful fantasy novel with strange, fantastic lands and places and creatures, quite imaginary, no doubt. They are all the figments of Tolkien's imagination. But the fantasy land which he has created in this novel is truly amazing. And the way movies in England and Hollywood, USA, have been made, they have done true justice to the storyline of Tolkien and have presented before us wonderful creatures of imagination. And the way they have been portrayed in the movies, they all appear to be quite realistic, and one starts believing that such places exist in the world and that dragons also are there in the world. Although we all know that most of the characters and most of the places which have been depicted in this novel are totally imaginary and are not real. But this is what we call the skill of the novelist, because with the power of his true depiction, he makes us believe that such things really exist in the world. Although we know for sure that no such things exist in the world. So I hope for a start you would enjoy the plot overview of The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. This fantasy novel was written in 1937 and was published by Alan N. Unwin in England. In our next lecture, we will further discuss and critically evaluate the theme of The Hobbit by Tolkien. Till then, take good care of yourself and keep studying hard. Khuda Hafiz.